Three, two, one, boom, we're rolling. James Strickland, thank you for coming on the show, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
This is the first podcast, right?
Yeah, it is. I listened to a lot of them, but never done one.
I've
So,
had so many first-time people that have never done podcasts, so you'll do great. Trust me.
okay. As long as I do at least better than one person, I'll be okay. So,
I
as long
promise.
as I'm not on the bottom.
No, you won't be. I promise. Did you work today?
No, actually, had the days off, and my wife and little brother actually kind of surprised me. My little brother flew into town Wednesday night. So my wife was driving around acting like she was lost and cut to the airport and picked them up. You know what I mean? Kind of like surprised me. So I got family in town and we're just hanging out and stuff. So it's been pretty cool.
Well, you didn't have to jump on a pod. I didn't know you had family in town, dude.
Well, so here's the thing: is we scheduled this podcast and then like literally an hour later we're picking them up from the airport. I had no fucking idea. You know what I mean? So it's like they were like, "You got any plans?" I'm like, "I got one plan. I'm just gonna do this podcast on Friday. That's it." You know? So yeah.
No, I'll get you in and out here in 45 to an hour. How's that sound?
No worries. They're all hanging out watching football. It's fine, man.
Cool. Are they watching that pro game or college?
The pro game.
I see. I don't even have Amazon Prime or whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like some Black Friday game they're doing or something.
It's the first one ever. I thought I saw that.
Yeah. So I don't care about any of the teams, so it's okay. So I'm going to pass on it.
Yeah, they're two garbage teams. Well, Miami's actually pretty good, but
yeah,
the Jets are tit dirt.
Yeah, they kind of had a rough start, bro. That first 30 seconds of that first. Yeah, I felt so bad for their fans, man. That's fucking rough, dude.
It was like the most American thing you've ever seen in your life. Like Aaron Rodgers coming out, like total blackout, American flag, New York City's going crazy, and then like fucking 4 plays in, see you never.
Bro, the whole country became a Jets fan when that started. I was like, fuck yeah, I was rooting for him. Then he just fucking done. I was like, Jesus, that sucks, man.
I was too, dude. And then that shit happened. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I don't think that fan base has ever had a break, dude. They seem to have a rough go, dude.
Yeah,
Their whole existence.
Really they really, really have. I feel bad for them. Kind of like the Lions. Like I'm from Michigan. I think I told you that when we met last month or whatever it was. But I got people on Twitter that are diehard Lions fans, and they're like bitching. I'm like, you guys are 8-2. Like, you used to pray for times like this. What are we doing here, guys? Like,
yeah, they're doing good, man.
Yeah, I know, but they were just like bitching about Jared Goff and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, you guys need to be a little bit appreciative. What's going on?
I think that's part of like certain sports fans and the team that none of them are good enough to be on is never good enough for them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like they can't walk a day in any of their shoes, but they're gonna bitch about all of them, man.
That's very true, dude. Well,
Yep.
I'm glad you came on, dude. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I met you through. I'm not gonna say his name because I say his name too much on this show, and I don't want to get him any more credit than he already gets on this fucking show. But you know who
Do you
I'm
want me to say
about. It? Sure, you can say it, but I'm not gonna say
Payton? You talking about Payton? That guy? Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. No, he seems to always pop up in each and every episode that I do somehow. But yeah, so Peyton got some tattoos from you,
Yep.
and you're like, hey, just take me hunting, and then we're square. So we ended up going out. Me and my dad met you and Peyton on the west side of the state and had a pretty good couple days. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I got a little. The second day I didn't go out. I felt a little like getting sick in the morning, so I decided to sit it out. I was like, man, if I go out and I get super fucking sick, I have my customer on Monday was flying in from like, where's he? Somewhere from the East Coast. I was like, I can't reschedule on this guy and get sick, dude. So I was trying to take it easy. So I didn't make it out the rest of the trip, but the first day it was fucking awesome, man.
You can do that. You can do that when you tag out on the first day, like you did.
Oh, you can get fucked up. Yeah. Believe me, I wanted to get back out there.
You ain't got to worry about getting back out, though. If you already punched your tag, fuck them.
Nah, dude, I wanted to go out there and do more and like see you guys get some, help you guys out, and just cruise around that side by side of the mountains, man. That's fucking awesome, dude. That was such a cool experience.
You didn't miss a damn thing, bro. I think we saw like a total of fucking 3 deer the next 2 days after you left.
Oh man, Peyton was telling me that, and I felt so goddamn bad you guys didn't see shit because it's a lot of work going out there driving around all fucking day. It's draining, dude. And to not see nothing, that's like crazy.
That's like real living though, man. I've never like hunted out of a side by side before. That shit was so much fun just driving around.
Oh, bro, and me, I'm a new hunter, so I'm fucking spoiled. I'm ruined. Like I gotta have a side by side now, and like so I'm not walking anywhere. You guys fucking ruined it for me. Spoiled me right off the bat.
We did. I want to get into that here in a little bit, but I don't know like a crazy amount about you apart from the fact that like you're a new hunter and that you do tattoos. When did the tattooing start? Because I'll put your information in like the show notes of the pod so people can check your page out and shit if they don't already follow you. But your work is fucking like not to dick ride you, but like super super good, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Been working on it for a long time. So,
How long you been doing
but
it?
20 years now.
Really?
Yeah, 20 years. I started in high school. Yep.
Just why? Why'd you start?
Well, I was in that age. I was like 15, 16, and you got to start thinking about what you want to do because you're going to be 18 soon. You got to get a job or go to the military or whatever it may be. And my dad, he was a welder. He learned how to weld when he was in the Seabees. And so my thing was like, I'll just be a welder like my dad. My dad's like, no, you're not. I'm not showing you shit. He's like, I don't want you doing this job. He's like, you're always drawing. He's like, do something with your talent. So he's actually the one that pushed me into doing something with my art at a young age. And so I started taking like art classes in high school and stuff like that. And I remember we're going to these art classes and your teacher's like, we're gonna draw this apple. And I'm like, this is so fucking gay, dude. I don't want to draw a fucking apple. I want to draw a skull or something, something
Yeah.
cool. And so everything we're drawing in art class, I fucking hate it. And then I was like, I don't think I like art. And then one day I was after football practice when I was a freshman. All like the older guys I saw on the varsity team, they were getting tattoos and stuff. I was like, that's fucking kind of cool. This is like 2001, so people were getting tribal, and I was like, dude, that looks so fuck. Tribal's got to be the coolest shit in the world. I want to get something like that. And my friend's like, my uncle just got out of jail. He does tattoos. Want to come on over? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I go to my friend's house. And his uncle brings me out his sketchbook and shows me all the drawings he was drawing. And I was like, that's the kind of stuff I want to draw, not this bullshit in art class. So when I was about 15, 16-ish, I was like, I want to be a tattoo artist. And then I told my dad, and my dad's like, fuck. He's like, I told you to do something with your artwork. So he's like, I'm going to back you up on it 100%. So you go
Hell
and do it,
yeah.
just do something with your art. He just didn't, he kind of had to eat his own words because back then tattooing was kind of still taboo and not a real job. So
Hmm.
he still backed me up through it, man. I tattooed him in high school, like in the kitchen in our house and like practiced on him and everything. He was the greatest, man.
So you just practiced on your dad.
Oh, my dad, myself, my dad, all my friends, just fucking everyone up, man. Just doing horrible tattoos on people, learning the hard way. So,
That's got to be nerve wracking.
yeah, a little bit. But it was so long ago, I don't remember how nerve wracking it was. And I mean, they were happy to have a tattoo. I was happy to practice, and
Yeah.
I was never thought I'd be doing it for 20 fucking years, man. It kind of flew by.
Do you paint as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
That's
that
actually painting the back I'm working on. Oh,
Whoa. That's
I got to
really
finish.
badass. That's
I
really
got to
cool.
That's a funny story about that one. Used to paint a lot, and then
Yeah,
I kind
scoot
of
over
fell
again
out
real
of it.
quick. So James has got this tattoo. It looks like was that a skeleton?
It's like Grim Reaper, yeah. It's like a
Grim
Grim Reaper.
Reaper. Yeah, that is so hard.
Yeah, it's a pretty big painting.
How
It's
long does something like I mean that's a really big painting. How long does something like that take?
well, how long does it like? How long should it take? Like,
Well,
it should.
how long you been working on it? Let's just go with
I
that.
started that during the pandemic,
No.
and I haven't touched it for 3 fucking years, dude. So I'm trying to feel like I just finished one a couple weeks ago. I started during the pandemic, and then I'm like, I'm gonna force myself to finish that this winter because winter slows down a little bit. It's like
Yep.
colder outside. I'm like, cool. So I put it up there, and I keep trying to force myself to do it on my days off, and I end up doing other shit. But I'm gonna finish it this year for sure. I just gotta get off my ass and do it.
Are you gonna keep it for yourself or are you gonna sell it?
I'll probably keep it because I've sold or given away all of my artwork,
Yeah.
so I don't really have anything for myself, and I want to start building up a collection and stuff.
What are the dimensions on that?
That thing. Oh, I think it's 3 by 4 foot,
What would
three
something
foot
like
tall,
that
4 foot
run
wide.
like finished product, everything's done. What would something like that go if you were to charge like a stranger for it?
Man,
Thousands, right?
I feel like yeah, a few thousand easily. I'd have to feel comfortable with letting it go. Like if someone came up and said, "Hey, I'll give you 6 grand for it," I'd be like, "Fucking cool." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll feel pretty happy with that. But when you start getting those lower things, the amount of hours you put into it, time, I'm like, I'd rather just keep it.
Then it
You
becomes
know,
priceless, right?
Yeah, it's just that, and it's always it's cool too because it's like a when you have it hanging in a shop, it's a cool conversation starter. It's almost like form of advertisement. So
Yeah.
when someone comes in, they see it, they can be like, "Oh, I want to get a painting." I'm like, "Well, I'm working on this one over here that I want to sell," and I can kind of do stuff like that.
Now is I mean, it seems like two totally different ball games, but are there similarities within painting and comparing it to tattooing,
Man,
like technique and stuff, or no?
the application process is totally different. You can use like similar techniques as far as building a design. Yeah, you can use you can use more like I'm trying to think of a way to word this without sounding totally retarded. But yeah, there's like certain like ways you can layer things like a painting in tattooing. It's just a different application process using needles and ink instead of brushes and paint. But they all
Yeah.
they all kind of cross cross each other in certain ways. Where you can learn a little bit in each one. So
Yeah. Now, what was your first like real tattoo job apart from, tattooing in your kitchen on your dad? Like,
oh man,
nine to
so like the
five,
first
like
one I got.
working for a company.
So my first actual tattoo job was my apprenticeship, which
Okay.
started in 2004 under this guy's still my friend. His name's Richard Martinez. So I grew up in this place called Pico Rivera, California. It's kind of like South LA area,
Okay.
right next to El Monte. And his shop was in the indoor swap meet off Slauson Boulevard. It's this tiny shop, maybe like fuck man, 10 feet deep by 20 feet wide in a walkway.
Yep.
And I started there in a swap meet. And that was my first job. I was an apprentice, learned, and then as soon as I was able to, I'd go home and practice on myself and friends every night. And as soon as my work was halfway decent, he's like, "All right, cool, start taking appointments." So that was my first job, tattooing.
Really cool. And then when did you move to Vegas and how long did you stay there?
Well, from Pico Rivera, I moved actually up to Oxnard, California, and I lived in Oxnard and Ventura for about 8 years. And then in 2014, I moved to Vegas, and I was in Vegas for 8 years, and then moved to Montana last year. Yes, I've been out here for a little over a year now.
So you started basically with your first real job in like '04, correct?
Yeah.
How long did it take years wise? Because I'm sure it was years until you were like, fuck man, like I'm getting pretty dang good at this. Like how long did it take you to really like settle in and find your style and really start perfecting your craft?
Well, I still think I suck, so I'm still waiting for that day.
Yeah, I
That's
believe
kind
that.
of a thing. I feel like that's the thing with a lot of artists that just hate everything they do. But I would say that there was like a turning point where artists used to, a lot of us we worked in walk-in shops, so we had to be halfway decent at doing everything. So whenever someone came in, they wanted handwriting, you had to know how to do handwriting. They wanted Japanese, you had to do that, or traditional, you had to do everything. And then there's this thing that happened. I would say I was going to pin it as like kind of shortly after a lot of the Ink Master stuff, like kind
Yep.
of got popular.
Yep.
I just remember that time frame. That's like use that as like a time frame marker. Is that like a lot of people started kind of like being more specialized in things like, hey, I'm only going to do portraits and specialize in that. And I'm only going to do Japanese and specialize in that. So I was like, fuck, that's kind of cool. You could just do what you want every day. So I took a liking towards black and gray around like 2000, I say around 2009 2010 around there, and I kind of started pushing more towards that. And then I started getting better at it and better at it. Then I started kind of cutting out all the other stuff, doing less color, less of all the other bullshit. And I say by the time it was like 2014 ish, I was just doing black and gray only.
Yeah.
You know, the occasional color piece every once in a while that I don't like to talk about because I hate tattooing color. So
Will you still do color or no?
yeah, do color highlights.
Yeah.
Like a little splash of color here and there. It's just doing full color. I just fucking don't enjoy it anymore, man. It just takes so goddamn long, and it's just a tedious process. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't have as much fun with it, man.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Like you started when you said like tattooing was kind of like still kind of taboo. It definitely wasn't as popular as it is today. But as the years progress, like from '04 to like 14, you're finding your style and you're settling in. but the also like tattooing in general is growing and gaining more popularity
Oh,
too. So it sounds like the timing was just like fucking perfect.
it worked out good. Yeah, it definitely did. I would. It's so fucking wild to see how big it's gotten and how much it's changed. It went from like at family members or like ex girlfriend's parents or friends' parents. Or, so you're just gonna do this tattoo thing? Like, when are you gonna get a real job? To when it started going on TV, everyone started, oh fuck, you're a tattoo artist. Oh my god, that's so cool. They like totally flipped the script. You know what I mean? It's like once they saw it
Yes.
on TV that it was cool, then the whole like I feel like most of like the regular society that didn't deal with tattooing kind of became more accepting of it. Then it just started taking off a lot more. You know?
Yeah, it's a good way of saying is it's way more accepted now because like I'm sure like back in '04 and like the early 2000s, you probably had a lot of tattoos then too, but like you walk in to meet somebody's freaking parents or something and you got tattoos all over your arms and shit and they're looking at you all sideways. Well, now fucking everybody has tattoos, like
Yeah,
literally probably more people in the world have them that don't.
yeah. It totally did a 180. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I always wonder what we're gonna look like when we get old as shit, like 70, 80 years old, and everybody's just like full sleeves, neck tattoos. Like it's gonna
We're gonna
because
look fucking awesome.
there's not that generation like right now. Like my grandma, she's like fucking 92, right? She probably doesn't even know what a tattoo is. But like when we get old as shit, like everybody's just gonna be yadded out of their minds, and I think it's gonna look hilarious.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be different. That's for sure. Yeah, it's gonna have all these dudes with tattoos and chicks with fucking giant fake lips when they're fucking 90, and it's just gonna be
It's gonna
weird as hell,
be like a
man.
gong show.
Yeah.
If the world doesn't end by then, jeez, oh Pete's.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have to gotta stop watching the news. It's one
I
thing
can't.
after another, man. One
I
thing
can't
after fucking
I can't
another.
even watch it, dude. Like it's almost like if I need a laugh, I'll turn the news on just because the shit's so comical nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. It's a fucking goddamn clown show.
Is what you're doing now tattooing, is that like your dream job? Like do you wake up and do you even feel like you have to go to work? Like is this what you were meant to do?
You know, I mean, this. I feel like it's a balance. I feel like if you start doing it too much, it starts feeling like a job. So it's good to take time away from it to do other things. You know, go hunting or do some of your hobbies, or take a handful of days off that you like. You get the itch, you want to start getting back into it. You know, I feel like it's like anything. You could do it too much and burn yourself out on it, which I have before in the past. You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
but it's
just too
different.
many appointments and stuff, just going too hard.
Yeah, you get too many appointments, or you. There's been a lot of times where I've hit like a point where I'm like, oh fuck, you know, I just had a giant fucking bill hit me out of nowhere for whatever expenses it may be, and you're like, fuck, I need to get back to work and make money. And you start taking on appointments that you don't really want to do.
Yeah.
So then you're going to work and you're just fucking doing shit you don't want to be there doing, or dealing with a difficult person, you know, and it just then it starts feeling a little bit like a job. But I always sit back and be like, hey man, there's motherfuckers out there getting shot at for a living, people fucking digging trenches for a living. I'm like, I got an easy fucking job, man. So I have no room to complain whatsoever, you know?
Yeah. No, you're blessed, dude. That's for sure. What I always try to do, like when I get tattoos, I always like walk in and check out their styles and just kind of do my own research on their pages and stuff. But, I'll have like a generalized idea of something that I want to get, but then I'll just pitch the idea to the artist and I'll basically just be like, yo, like have fun with it. Like put your own twist on this. And that seems to make the whole experience way more enjoyable for not only me, because I don't necessarily exactly know what I'm getting and how it's going to turn out, but the artist, it, I want them to be enthused. Like I want them to want to tattoo me and sit there for 6 or 8 hours at a time. I want them to be excited about the work that they're doing. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of what we hope for, you know? So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I usually actually kind of vet, like, which I'm sure a lot of other artists do. You kind of vet all the clients that are coming through. You got to make sure that the design is in your wheelhouse and they're cool with your terms of like cost and artistic freedom to a degree, you know. And then I sit down and I call them and talk to customers and like do exactly what you said, like kind of fill them out. They say, hey, you know, this is just an idea. I'm like, that sounds cool. I can do this and that's the idea. And then they like it, and then everything just kind of vibes and works out, and we hopefully come up with something awesome that they're happy with, you know.
yeah. I don't know where I got that from, but I don't know. I just kind of came to me. I was like, man, I think I need to make this as enjoyable for them because I think the end product will, it might not be totally what I had in mind, but I think it'll more than likely turn out better. And all of them have. They've always turned out way better than what I initially envisioned, just because if you give the artist the freedom, they're more invested into it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I mean, you go into someone because you like their work. So it's like, why not listen to them? It's like if I'm coming to you to like take me on a hunt or something, I'm like, this fucking guy knows what he's up to. So he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to tell him what my goal is and fucking listen to him. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of getting a professional advice from someone. So it's good to kind of listen to it.
Some people have a hard time doing that, man. Like,
Probably.
can you imagine if I came in and I was like, yo, I want this, and then you draw something up, and I'm like, that looks like fuck terrible. You need to do it this way. And you're like, that's not my style. I'm like, no, you need to make it your style. And it'd be the same thing if you were like, hey, like maybe we should go over here and check this ridge. And I'd be like, no, that ridge is bullshit. There's nothing over there. It's all private. And you're like, no, dude, let's go anyways. And be like, dude,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like some people just can't drop
Exactly.
their egos, it seems like.
No, that's a thing. It's a fucking thing, and it's a bizarre thing. It's a bizarre problem to have for some people. But yeah, we run into that every once in a while. And I just tell them, like, I'm not the guy for you. Which I'm sure might happen for you too. It's a little hard in your situation. Though. You're in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
with the weirdo with a gun. you know,
No shit.
it's like, yeah, we can go check that ridge, bro. You go first.
Yeah, you go first. I'll follow.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
That's
no,
funny.
it does happen. I'm sure it happens with every profession. You just get, like you said, you get people that get caught up in their own ego for some fucking reason. They think everything's McDonald's. They're gonna bark at you till you get it the way you want it. It's not how it is in the real world, though.
Yeah, like I've had some guys like, cause I coach dudes. You were asking me the other day. I coach dudes with like fitness and nutrition and stuff, and they'll be like, "Man, what if we do this? What if we try that? What if we do this?" And it's like, you can try it, but like it ain't gonna work for you. Like just do
Yeah,
what I tell you to do, man. Like you're paying me money. Like I promise you, I wouldn't be making you do all of this shit and eat these certain things if I didn't think it was gonna work or if I didn't know it was gonna work. And then like some dudes I've had, before they even sign on or sign a contract or anything, where I'm just like, man, I'm not your guy. Like this, there's no way this is gonna work out. If you can't let your guard down and listen to me, we're just not it's not gonna be an enjoyable experience for either of us. And that's the whole point, right? Like you're paying for a service or I'm paying you for a service. Like we have a common goal. We want the same thing, but you have to let your guard down and listen to that individual in their area of expertise, or you're just wasting everybody's fucking time.
yeah. It's a fucking weird thing. It's like you came to me with a problem. I'm trying to get you in shape, and you want to keep doing the same problem. So
Yeah,
what's that thing? It's doing the same thing, expecting different results. Is that insanity or something like that? Right? Is that what
I
it is?
believe it. I believe it is. Yep.
Yeah,
Either that
yeah.
or
There's fucking
idiocracy. I think it's insanity. Yeah.
oh, they're all fucking nuts. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are like that, man. I run into them. You do. Sure, everyone does, man. But you can't. What my dad said, you can't fix stupid. Just is
No,
what it is,
you
man.
sure as hell can't, brother. No, you can
yeah.
try, but yeah, it's tough. I know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about like a little bit of like just you've been around. So you were Southern California, moved up north, and you moved to Vegas. Now you're out here in Montana. I really enjoy talking to people who have kind of just bounced around a few states or traveled the world. I feel like that puts a really good perspective on life. It's one thing to talking to the guy that's never left his hometown, and then talking to somebody who's traveled the world. Like you're gonna have two totally different conversations about life. Do you think traveling around, moving a few states, packing up, moving to Montana, do you think this stuff has benefited you like overall with your perspective in life, or do you just think it is what it is?
I think it's definitely benefited me perspective wise. It's pros and cons. It's all trade offs.
Yeah.
Like things I definitely miss is being around my family.
Yes.
It's like being able to walk down the street. You got family or people you knew forever. But I also moving to different places, forcing yourself to get uncomfortable. It just causes you to grow. You just grow, you learn, you adapt, and I feel like you become a more well-rounded person and more useful by doing things like that.
Yeah, I do too. And like my dad always told me, Slim, um, he's like, man, you can always come home, but like you don't
Yeah,
know what you don't know. Like there's a whole lot more of the world out there to see than driving down 94 in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And you can always come home, but that's why I've bounced around quite a bit, and I wouldn't change it for the world, man. Like I wouldn't have met, you. I wouldn't have met half the people I know here. I wouldn't be able to get out and hunt in this beautiful country. Like you don't know what you freaking don't know, man. So I would always rather take a chance, and if it works out, fantastic. And if it doesn't, you can always pivot and just go back to your old ways. But you're never going to find that out unless you do force yourself to get uncomfortable. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, well, absolutely, man. And I mean, it's like that old saying was that rejection is better than regret. You know, you better try to get rejected than live with regret because that should just eat you up, man. Not knowing and not trying. You know.
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever tattooed any famous people?
I mean, I'd say like nothing big famous. You know, there's some people I like briefly talked to about tattooing, but it's just kind of like it's was it Travis Barker? I remember chatting with him
Does
for a
he even
quick
have
minute
any
about doing
room
it.
for more tattoos? What are you
Bro,
supposed to
I know he was going to get like a tiny little barbed wire or something on him, and I was like, dude, I don't know where we're going to fit it. But I was just talking to him over the phone because it was a mutual friend. He was in Vegas and he recommended him to us. But usually, and he was super fucking kind, very respectful, very nice guy. But like a lot of the celebrities, they're like so crunched for time and their schedule that it's like you got to change your whole schedule around to fucking fit them in. And I'm just not like I'll tell them like these are my hours at work. You want to book a day, cool. And like if not, then I'm not changing my fucking schedule to go meet you in a hotel room at 3 a.m. to do a tattoo.
And that's
You
usually
know, I'm
probably
not.
about what it's like too.
Yeah, it's that or they just they show up when they want a lot of the time. I'm not saying all of them. I can't put them all in one basket, but just the experience I had, they just kind of want a lot of them want like a last minute quick special treatment. And they're just I'm not gonna flake on my customers I already have booked that are flying in to go say, hey, look who I tattooed. You know, just I won't do it. I mean, if they want to book an appointment, get tattooed, fuck yeah, go for it. You know, make it
Yeah.
happen. But I'm not gonna. In my experience, I've just had like I feel like it seemed like it was more of a headache than anything. You know.
Do you have a lot of people that fly in from out of state and come see you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say when I was in Vegas, there was a lot more people because it's such an easy destination to get to.
Yeah.
But even out here, I'm still having quite a few people flying. Like I was telling you, right after that hunt trip, the guy was flying in from where the fuck was he flying in from? New England? Yeah, somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, he said he flew to New England, went to Utah, and then drove up here. Yeah. So you get people coming in from all over the place. You know.
Is he a former client?
No, no, I haven't tattooed him. He's actually a tattoo collector, so he collects from all kind of artists from around the world. So this guy just
Really? So he
flies
just
around.
his
Hey,
he stores his collection on his body.
yeah, he just fucking flies around, goes on trips, gets tattooed by artists he likes, and he had shit from people from Russia, fucking all over the place, all over, just awesome stuff, man.
That's really cool. That's got
Yeah, I
to make you
tattooed a little.
feel good, man, for somebody that
Oh
like,
yeah,
travels from out of the country to come, they admire your work that much. That's really got to make you feel like you're doing something right.
yeah. It kind of confuses me because I'm like, where the fuck do you want to get tattooed by me, man? You know how many awesome people you just flew over? You know, like that's my own insecurity, I guess. It comes out, you know.
That's funny though. Like you said it earlier when I asked you, when did it start clicking for you? When did you realize like, yo, like I'm getting pretty good at this shit? And you're like, man, I still feel like I suck. And then you said all artists think that way. And I've noticed that like a lot of guys don't give themselves enough credit. And where do you think that comes from? Do you think you're like a perfectionist or do you think there's always room for improvement or where do you think that comes from?
I think that's it. There's always room for improvement. I think it's because as you're doing something, you're looking at what you did because it's all permanent. You know, you're looking at what you're laying down. You're like, it's pretty cool. And then as you sit back, you spend more time. You're like, I could have done this or that different. That would have been better. But it's all hindsight. You know, it's just. I feel like that's just the creative mind is always just adapting, trying to be better, and it happens with. I'm sure most artistic people, whether you're building knives or homes or painting, you know, you're going to always like want to evolve and change things you did to make it better the next time, you know?
No, I totally get it because like you said, it's permanent. It's not like you can press edit, undo, and retry it.
Yeah, go back and just erase it. Just do it this way. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. No, not yet, at
No,
least.
not yeah, exactly, not yet. It's funny too because you might see
Sorry.
something on a you're good. You might see something on a tattoo that like the person that received the tattoo will probably never even notice. They probably think it's like the best tattoo they've ever seen. They're absolutely stoked about it, and you're like, "Ah, I kind of definitely could have did this better or something."
Oh, dude, that's all the fucking time. I'll look at it and they're like fucking pumped, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're crying because they're so happy because it means so much to them.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know why I don't like it. Sometimes I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't know why. But they're happy as hell. So that's all. At the end of the day, it's all that matters, you know?
Yeah. No, but I get it though. Just being a perfectionist like that and being an artist, yeah, there's always room for improvement. I think that's how it is with me, like with the whole working out thing and just trying to take care of myself. Like I like how I look and this, that, and the other, but you can always be more in shape. You can always eat a little bit better. You can always work out a little bit harder. Like you're never going to be like, "Yep, I'm finished. We're good. We made it." That makes
Yeah, yeah.
sense?
There's not, yeah. I don't know anything that just finishes like that, but yeah, you're exactly right. You could always. I feel like that's like a particular mindset that people that have discipline have, or because I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that are complacent that are just totally fine with the way everything's going. Then there's the people that aren't like yourself who are always seeking to improve. And I feel like it's the characteristic of that.
Do you have a lot of meaningful tattoos or are you just kind of all over the board?
The No, no. The only meaningful one I have is like a "We the People" on the side of my leg, my American tattoo. That's
Yeah.
about the only meaningful one I got. All the other ones just art that I liked. Like it's like we were talking about earlier. Harry, like I like this artist's work. I want to get something by him, and usually I'll go to the artist and be like, pitch some ideas, and they'll be like, "Hey, I kind of like that theme." I was like, "Let's roll with it." Do it up. And just that's kind of how it's been. And then I have a lot of trash I did on myself too back in high school, which is just it's good to look back, good to know where you came from.
Now, are you ambidextrous? Can you tattoo with both hands?
Bro, I can't brush my teeth with my left hand, dude. I can tell. Fuck no, man. I see some people that can do that stuff. It's pretty cool to watch, you know what I mean? But it's no, I have no. I'm not. I'm not. I should probably work on that though, in case anything happens to the right
Well, I
arm.
just I asked that. It's not like I know anybody that can do that, but I asked that because if you're doing tattoos on yourself, like I would assume you never did any tattoos on your right arm then.
No, no,
Yeah, just
it
left
wouldn't
side
have
or
worked
like
out great.
yeah.
Yeah, it's on the left side or the right leg. Yeah,
Yeah, I get
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I get it. Are you so maybe this is just me, but like my tattoos, I love them. I think they're really good. I paid a fucking boatload of money for them. They most of them mean something. Some of them I had fun and just got yadded. But I'm like I don't hide my tattoos by any means. Like I don't wear long sleeves because I don't want people to see my shit. But like when people ask me, "Oh, what's that?" I get really weird about it. Like I get really self conscious about like explaining like some of my artwork. Do you feel that at all, or is that just me where like people are like, "Oh, let me see your tattoos," and I'm like, "This is fucking kind of uncomfortable."
Yeah, no, I can see that for sure. Because then I feel like some people can be kind of annoying with it, and they want to know the meaning and this and the whys, and like everything has to have this structure of like it has to mean something. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like they don't think it's cool, or it's like, I mean, if they want to look, you can look, but don't. I feel like when they start asking questions, it gets.
You
I understand what you're saying. It gets kind of invasive in a way, to where it's, or just annoying. Like you don't want to talk to strangers about shit on your body.
Yeah, yeah. Like I got a bunch of Game of Thrones tattoos, and then they're like, "Oh, what are those?" And I'll just ask them, "Have you ever seen Game of Thrones?" They'll be like, "No," and then I'm like, "Well, then you wouldn't understand." So like, just keep walking.
Yeah, it's kind of different if someone walked up and recognized it, like, oh fuck,
Right.
that's so and such from the fucking John. Was it Jon Snow? Right? Is that the guy?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, or whoever the characters are. Yeah, that's so and such. Like, then you get a conversation going. That's kind of cool. I'll get that sometimes where like they'll recognize a particular artist that tattooed me. Like that's so and so.
Really?
Like, yeah, you got some work from because like some people have a unique like style, and then they'll have work from that guy. And we'll bullshit, talk some crap for a while. Yeah,
Are you
but when
really
it's like,
particular? Oh, I'm sorry not to cut you off. Go ahead.
oh no, you're all good. I was just saying, it's like the stranger in the grocery store, like you're talking about. It's
Yes.
fucking weird. You always think they're up to something,
Fucking creeps.
right?
Are you? Do you have favorite artists that like you get tattooed by?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Where at?
man. A lot of my recent work, which I haven't been tattooed for about 4 years now, was done by Josh Duffy. He's based out of Arizona. He has a shop called Black Castle, and he's fucking incredible, man. But I got a little bit of work from Carlos Torres and my good old friend Manuel Valenzuela, and I got like pieces from a handful of folks, but there's so many fucking good artists out there that I like. I couldn't name them all. Like it's the bar has been just lifted so fucking high in the tattoo industry that there's just I don't know how the fuck I'm going to keep up over the next decade, man. It's pretty fucking
You,
impressive out there.
you will. Yeah, you will. You definitely will, brother. Your shit's
Well, I
nasty.
appreciate that. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to do my best. So see how
Is
it
like the
goes.
tattooing community like, is it like a big community? Like, do all like the best artists get together and like go to a show in Vegas? Is there any like trade shows or shit that you guys go to and like meet up and like bounce
Yeah.
ideas off each other? Just like, is it kind of a community or is it kind of just like every man for themselves or woman for themselves?
No, did you assume a gender, dude? I'm just
Yeah, I
kidding.
did. Yeah,
All right.
fucking cancel the show.
No, cancel this
Cancel the
fucking
show.
delete. Yeah. No, it's there's tattoo conventions all around the world. I mean, since COVID they kind of slowed down, of course, but they're coming back. But I feel like 10, 15 years ago, it seemed like the community was a little tighter. That might have been because it was smaller,
Mm,
or it could just be me because I haven't been as involved. I feel like the community is more like I feel like it's more kind of there's more factions of the tattoo community now, or like different sort of like just different areas of it. You got like the Uber kind of TV famous tattoo scene.
hmm
You got the old school guy legend scene. The guys that have been around doing it for 50 fucking years. Then you got like the guys that are like super good artists kind of group that people that they literally draw all fucking day. They're just impressive. And then you got it's just I feel like it's more. I feel like there's just more sections of the tattoo industry now than back in the day. It was smaller. It seemed like it was a whole industry. Now it just seems, in my opinion, it feels like there's just more. It's kind of more fractured.
No, that makes sense. It's probably harder to get out too now because you live in the fucking sticks.
It's what makes it hard to get out into these shows. Is I don't want to leave here. It's fucking awesome. I love it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
It's
shh,
beautiful.
shh, shh, shh.
Oh, it
Yeah,
sucks, man.
yeah, it's
Everyone's
terrible here,
oh
bro.
man, it's horrible. It's so cold. It sucks. Everyone's mean. Don't come here. No, I think I've just gotten like to the shows. I just got like fucking lazy with going. I hate fucking working them because it's uncomfortable. You get there and you gotta fucking set up. Like you're always crunched for time. You gotta deal with that whatever county's health department units is always ran by some fucking dorks that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Then you got to pay out the ass. So you start off the show, you're like fucking 5, 6 grand, well, three to 5 grand in the fucking hole, with your hotels
Of
and
course, of
flights
course.
and
Food.
and then you get there and you're sitting in shitty plastic chairs, shitty lighting, loud ass, 20 different kinds of music, trying to tattoo someone while everyone's asking you questions. It just isn't enjoyable to me anymore.
I
Um,
understand that. That makes total
yeah,
sense.
yeah, it's fun going to them though. I like going to them and hanging out, and seeing some of the people you haven't seen for a while, and checking out new artwork and supplies. Like it's fun walking around and hanging out, but working them, I'm just not a big fan of working them anymore, man.
Yeah, you've been there, done that though.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
uh,
I should keep doing it, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna once this drops, I'll put your information like I told you, but I'll be having a bunch of my buddies from like Nashville and back home. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come visit you, but I'm flying into Missoula. I'm gonna call James." So they're gonna be, especially my one buddy Joel. Joel's gonna find you and he's gonna be like, "I need to get tattooed by James."
Yeah, we'll make it happen, man. We'll make it happen,
Uh,
Joel. We'll do something cool.
yeah,
So.
that's right. That's right. Let's switch gears, dude. Enough tattooing. I appreciate that, though. I've always wanted to get an artist on here, so really fun. But I was a part of your first deer that you killed, man. That was really cool. Can you describe that experience at all?
Yeah, man, it was fuck, man. I'm thinking of a way to word this without sounding like a total dork. So we're out there running around that mountain all morning, and then Payton spotted the one I shot, which was he about 370 yards downhill, I think, right?
Right about that. Yep.
Yeah, and he was bedded down behind that sagebrush and stuff, and you could just see kind of half his body and his head, sticking out. And I remember getting behind this, like creeping up there, and he's like, the first thing he tells me is like, "If I show you, you're gonna freak the fuck out. If you look through the scope, you see me, you're gonna freak out." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Why would I freak out?" I'm like, "I guess that's a thing. I don't know."
It
You know?
is.
Yeah, and I look on the scope, I see him like, "Oh, cool, that's a good looking dude right there." He's like, "You ready to take like, at least get your rifle, get this, he got a position for it, he's getting set up." And he told me the yardage, so we dialed it in, and he was like, I mean, I've shot like I've always been into shooting. I've shot long range a bunch for fun, and My dad got me to shooting when I was a kid. And I get behind the gun and I'm like just setting up, and I was more pissed because I only had one fucking earplug in. I couldn't get the other one out. I'm like, fuck, my ears are gonna be ringing all night if I shoot this thing,
That was because of Peyton and I. For
it
people that
was
weren't,
honestly,
let me tell this real quick. People that weren't
yeah,
there, we Peyton spotted this buck, and we had the spotting scope on him, and like, there's no way you were not gonna shoot the buck. Like, we were gonna make you shoot that deer because he was a great deer, especially a first year. Like, for your first year, that deer's a fucking tank.
oh yeah,
And
he's a fatty.
like, you were kind of behind P and you're like digging for your like ear pro, and Peyton and I are looking at each other and we're like, James, fuck that ear pro. Like, get up here now. Like, hurry up. Like, he might get up. Fuck your ears.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I was like, I do get it. I do, because it is a pain in the ass finding those motherfuckers. So like, it's a 300 Win Mag. I'm like, this is gonna be loud as shit. So,
Cracks, dude.
yeah, and I was like, so I get behind the scope and I find him and get a round racked in there and everything, and he's like, do you want to take a round out and do a couple test fires, make sure
Dry
you're okay?
fires. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, and I just was looking at the scope. I was like, oh, I bizarrely, I don't know why, I just felt fucking at ease. I was just like, no, I'm good. Let's go. Just saw him, just took the shot, and that immediate thing when you said I hit him through the spine because he was laying at like an angle.
Yes.
I had this wave of, you get that wave of like just like fucking just sadness and fucking disappointment. Like, I felt like I fucked up. I was like, I fucking fucked that shot up. I was like, I'm a piece of shit. And you're like, no, he's good. He's there. He ain't moving. Just hit him one more time. And I was like, okay, cool. And get another round in there. Shoot him. You said I hit him through the same spot.
Yes.
But it was bizarre, man. I felt, because I didn't know how I was going to feel, because it's one of those fight or flight kind of things, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just felt fucking at ease, man. I felt really, everything just felt kind of normal. As I got down there, got to touch him and everything. It was fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest impression I got when I got there and I got to see him and touch him, he was all warm and everything still. And I was blown away how clean they are. I was like, I thought this thing was going to be filthy, dude. I think it was clean as hell. I was like, man, what a beautiful animal, And it was an awesome experience. And I learned so much with you guys helping me out, like breaking them down and everything. And I had like one of the big things I was, besides having to work on my fucking cardio, that I learned.
We'll get into that. Don't worry, we'll get into that.
Was like really like picking your shots to, like, even when you're gonna break him down, because we weren't on too bad of a slope where he was at all.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're trying to break him down on that thing and shit's moving, I'm like kind of tipping over a little. I'm like, dude, it's like, if you get one of these things on a bad hillside, like, that's gonna be super dangerous trying to break one of those down or something like that. So that's one thing.
Exactly.
One big thing I took away from that. But awesome experience.
You made a great shot. Yeah, you made a great shot. You hit him right where you were supposed to, and what happened after that was what was supposed to happen. So no need to feel bad. And I had my camera with me, so I was like, I'm gonna run down there real quick so I can capture some moments. And I was very what's the word I'm looking for? I was very content with the way that you handled it. You weren't, when you got down there, you weren't jumping up and down, you weren't fist pumping, you weren't fuck yeah, and you weren't overly excited. Like, I could tell you were excited, but you were very appreciative of the opportunity and, the moment, and appreciative of the animal. Like, I have that one picture of you just kind of like, you essentially like just running your hand over the deer's fur. I think you said, thanks, buddy. And that's how I am too when I hunt, and if I get lucky enough to get one down, is I'm very appreciative. So to see a first time hunter, you've hunted before, but to actually harvest something is totally different. But to see your reaction and how you just respected the game and respected the animal, that really made me feel great. And I think it did with P too, because a lot of guys, man, it doesn't, you're taking a life though, like you're feeding your family, and like you said, it's a beautiful animal. So I was very content with how you handled it. That was a really cool moment, and I'm glad I got to snap a couple of pictures that you can have. But it was just a great job, man. I'm stoked for you.
Oh, thanks, man. I couldn't have done it without you guys, and all those photos you got were fucking incredible, man. I was looking back through, I was like, dude, look at this, man. It's like, you had the album put together and everything. It was neat, man. I liked them a lot, dude. I was excited to post them too, and I was like, put them on Instagram. I was like, I even asked my wife. I was like, man. I was like, should I turn the comments off on this thing? I was like, oh, fuck those motherfuckers. You got to they can say they can fuck right off, you know. And
Yeah,
I
you
just
got
put
good
it up there.
I actually read the
All
comments. You got great feedback, didn't you?
it was all 100% positive feedback. And it's fucking funny. Is I got more likes on that than most of my tattoos. I'm like, what the fuck you guys at, dude? Like, what the hell, man? Like, you know?
They're like, he does do other shit besides tattoo people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it was cool to have like a successful hunt. It's something hits deep in your roots when you get down there and you just actually go through the whole process. It just felt right. You know, it was really
Yeah.
nice. I really appreciated every second of it.
Yeah, and that's
Wild.
the thing too. Like, if you would have gotten a bunch of hate on that post, it would have been complete bullshit. Because going back to my previous point, we're not driving around fucking drinking beer, hillbilly, blue jean bandit type shit. Like, we're doing things the right way. And then when you killed your deer, like, you were just so thankful and appreciative, and that, to me, is what hunting's about. It's about the memories with your buddies. It's about the experience. You got to experience something new. You get to prove yourself right that you could do this. And you were just so thankful for the animal that, if you would have had comments like, they weren't there, they didn't see how you acted, but you acted like fucking, totally properly. It was great.
Oh, I'm glad I did because I've made an asshole of myself a few times in my life, and I'm glad it wasn't that point right there because it
No.
was one of the coolest experiences of my life, man. And I can't wait to get back out there and started talking about Peyton with going out a little later this year for some
Yeah.
elk and see if we can find something. I'm just even if we don't get anything, just being out there is just fucking awesome, man. It's just
Isn't there
beautiful.
something to being out in the mountains, dude? Isn't there just
Yeah,
something that you can't even really describe? It just feels like home.
yeah, it does, and it makes you feel so small that all your fucking problems in life just go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just in the it forces you to be in the moment, which is very hard to do these days.
Yeah. We kind of fucked you driving around in that side by side because it's not that little of work. Usually it's fucking way more difficult. It's way more cold. It's way more sweaty and dirty and just
Yeah,
a fuck ton more work. But that's why we do it. If it was easy, I'd probably still do it, but it wouldn't be as meaningful, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying, and like I know that I'm gonna keep hunting, and I know there's gonna be a lot more hard, like some serious hard things coming up. That's why I'm gonna fucking bug you, get my help, get my ass in shape, so get some workout. Because after fucking just running around a little bit, what were it, 90 fucking 9,500 feet or whatever it
Yeah, we were
was,
up there, dog. Yeah.
dude, that shit is no fucking joke. I hit this hill behind my house. I'm at what, like 3,200 feet. I'll put a 70-pound pack on, go up it, go down it. I'm like, I think I got this, man. I think I'm going to be all right for hunting season. You get up there a few thousand feet higher, and it's total game changer, man.
Yeah, it'll smoke you, dude. Like, I don't care how good a shape. Obviously, the better shape you're in, the more well off you'll be. But at the end of the day, dude, that air is just fucking thin, son. Like, you just can't breathe. You just can't
Yeah,
breathe at all.
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's definitely slows your ass down. That's for sure.
It does. Well,
Yeah.
man, listen, I want to be respectful of your time. This was a lot of fun. If you don't have any questions for me, I'm gonna get you out of here, get you back to your family, brother.
Oh man, some questions. Shit, I should have wrote some stuff down.
No,
Damn, I was so
don't.
nervous about just answer questions. I didn't think about asking any.
That was easy, dude. Look at that. 48 minutes. That was quick, wasn't it?
Easy work, man.
Yeah. Dude, the weird thing about it is, like, when you do these podcasts and you're totally invested in the conversation, you can get your phone, no distractions or whatever. Like, you can make an hour go by so damn quick. Like, I've done freaking podcasts where I'm like, I feel like I just sat down. Next thing you know, you're over an hour, and they just something strange how time just flies.
Yeah, it's just like when you get something interesting, time just starts moving. It
Yeah,
just gets away from you.
it
But
does.
I do got a question. When did you get into hunting?
Oh man. When I was a little kid, dude. Yeah, when I was a little kid, I got into it with my dad. He took me out, and then I realized that I had no patience because I was so young, and like, I just, I'd be cold, and then I started playing sports and stuff, then got out of it, and then I really got back into it when I got to college. Yeah, so like 2012, I was like, I think I'm mature enough to do this and appreciate it, and really got into bow hunting then. And then from basically 2012 until now, so just over a decade, I've been pretty hardcore into it. And that's like pretty much the main reason that I wanted to move out here, because it's just totally different hunting from like the Midwest in Michigan or down south in Nashville or something like that. It's it's a totally different style, man. And I really, really enjoy this style of hunting because you never know what you're going to find. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and effort. And, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of really cool people doing it out here, especially through this show that I did not think was going to be where it is today. But I've met a lot of really cool people through the show. That's how I met P. I met him through the
Yeah.
show. That's how I met you now. So, no, it's been really cool, man. And I think I'll do this. Well, I know I'll do this forever.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's great. And you're speaking of your dad, dude. He was fucking awesome, dude. He's one of the coolest dudes, man. He's a trooper, man. He's just up there just talking shit, having a good time the whole day, dude. He's awesome, man.
Yo, no, he's we got it done last week, and God, man, the moment that we had was fun. It was way different than your moment, let me tell you. Like we were fucking jumping up and down, screaming, like hugging. He fucking picked me up, like we were just. It was unbelievable because he's old now and he can't get around as good as he used to, and for us to get it done on a deer of that caliber, being kind of limited, right? Like we can't hike in 8 miles and fucking start hunting. So to get up and down those mountains for him is definitely a little bit more challenging than it would be for you or I. So to finally, get it done because he hunted hard. He hunted, we had that 3 or 4 days with you guys, and then I think we
Yeah,
killed on like day 3 or 4. So he put a solid weekend, and man, it happened, and we just lost our fucking minds. It was so much fun, dude. He's still
yeah.
calling me, talking about it. Like
That's
he's so
so cool,
pumped.
man. Yeah, because you guys put a lot of hours and a lot of fucking work in, a lot of miles, man. And I'm so happy when I saw that Instagram post. I was like, "Fuck yeah, they got it, dude!" So I was fucking pumped for him, man. Because
Yeah.
I knew how much fucking time you guys put into that damn thing, man.
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty smoked, and actually, I'm leaving at like 3 a.m. I'm gonna give it one last push with one of my buddies, Kobe, who's been on the podcast. Who I met him through the podcast. I met a lot of these guys
Nice.
out here through the show. We're gonna give it. He's out there right now, so I'm gonna meet him in the morning and see if we can't. He doesn't have his deer tag filled, so we're gonna try to do that, and then we're gonna see if we can find any elk for the last 2 days before it's all said and done out here.
Yeah, maybe it'll get cold enough. I don't know. I hope
It's
you guys find
cold.
something though.
It's fucking cold enough, I tell you that much. He said it was 8 degrees out there today, so
Yeah, that'll do it.
yeah, I need to get one of them side by sides, kid.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. I used to have one in Vegas, but it was more for like a desert racing one. So I sold it a
Yeah.
couple years back. But as soon as we got back, I was like, man, after I fucking get a house here, I was looking at those goddamn things, got the heaters in them in the
Hell
windows. I
yeah.
was like, those are fucking sweet, man. Like
Yeah, they're
just smash around
badass.
the mountains. We
Yeah.
covered so many miles in that thing, dude. Those are awesome, dude.
Yeah, they're badass. That was really cool. If I had the means, I would totally get one.
Yeah. Well, you got your business and based around hunting and you
I
get
just
it, it's
write
a
it
tax
off,
write
dog.
off.
Yeah, just write it
There you
off.
go, man. Made
Shit,
a
you're right.
$40,000 tax write off. There you go.
Too good. Listen, man, I'm gonna stay on the line. I'm gonna cut this and we'll talk for a second. I'll get you out.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, real quick, James. Where can people find you, dude? I'm usually really good about this. Sorry. Where can people find you though? Online.
Man, the best place is Instagram. I'm horrible with websites and all that. I need to work on that. But Instagram is just my name, James Strickland. Once you open it, you'll know it's a tattoo page, and you'll figure it out. But that's the best spot.
Yep, and I'll leave the information in the show notes, man. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.